Hi, welcome to the Get Missed Toy. I'm your host, James Hart, and with me is...
Bill Duncan.
Today's subject is Plato, and specifically Gorgias. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's like the name of one of his dialogues.
Or Socrates.
Yeah, Socrates, Plato, then there's Aristotle after. But that's a new theme tune. What was that?
Drive. I don't know who was the artist, but it was a theme to a really cool 1980s TV show, Hardcastle and McCormick. And then, back in the 80s, they had a lot of cool shows like Knight Rider, like Dukes of Hazzard, the A-Team. But now, did you ever see the first Bill and Ted? How they actually got Socrates? Yeah.
I don't remember what the interaction was, but they were going back in time and they went back to. But I remember Napoleon. They brought him forward.
Yeah, and then his brother ditches him like a bowling alley, and then somehow he gets into a swimming pool. So.
I'll read a piece from Gorgias, and you tell me what you think of this interchange. So, Socrates says, "So money making rids us of poverty, medicine of disease, justice of unprincipled wrongdoing. So it seems," Polaris says. Socrates, now what do you think is the most beautiful of them? Which do you mean? Money making, medicine, or justice? Polaris says, justice, Socrates, is far superior. Socrates, so then, if it is fairest, it'll produce either the most pleasure or utility or both. Polaris, yes. Is medical treatment pleasant then, and those who submit to it pleased? I don't think so. But is it quite useful? Is that true? Yes. Because the patient is rid of a great evil, it is worthwhile to undergo pain and become healthy. Quite so. What do you think of that last line? Because the patient is rid of a great evil, it is worthwhile to undergo pain and become healthy.
Well, if you control your pain, or even if you can get off on it in a weird ass way, and you never know, you might be able to conquer all if you can conquer pain.
I've always thought if you could understand pain, you could understand how to focus your mind and not feel it as harshly or something, but that's stupid because pain is pain. You're gonna feel it as harsh as it's gonna be, right? I don't know.
Sometimes you have to take the Tylenol.
What do you think of that dialogue? Do you think it sounds dry or?
Nah.
Sounds old, aged. I thought it was weird where he says, "Now, which is the most beautiful of them?" And he's talking about money making, medicine, and justice.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
And the guy says justice right away. What's that?
What do you think about the stories that he told about what's Atlantis?
I'm uncertain of them. I don't remember where that would be in Plato, because I've read dialogues that are just like Socrates and a bunch of people talking.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that, but there's no adventure. It's a quest to find what is most logical, The guy with pointy ears in Star Trek.
Spock, yeah.
Yeah. Happiness, therefore, as it seems, is not to be rid of evil, but rather never to have had it at all.
Well, I don't have any, I don't have a girlfriend right now.
Neither do I. That doesn't determine happiness. You can be happy without a girlfriend.
It just seems weird in a group of friends. Every so often, everybody kind of pinballs around.
Do you believe?
Yeah, but life it could be totally random, and as grains of salt through an hourglass. These are the days of our lives.
Do you believe in a soul in the sense that Socrates talks about it, where he says that you have a body and you have a soul, and you have the health of your body and the health of your soul?
Like your foot soles.
No, like a health of your soul, like your being, like what kind of person you are. Like if you go and do a bunch of bad stuff and rip off a bunch of people and stuff, you might not feel so good in your soul or something. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of what his idea of soul is. Is something other than the body that is morally obliged to do good things and do the right thing. Where do you get the idea of what the right thing to do is?
Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee?
No, where do you get the idea? Where do you get the idea to do what the right thing to do is? When you choose to do something, how do you know what the right thing is?
It's gut feeling.
Gut feeling?
Gut feeling.
I don't know if I could go on gut feeling. My gut feeling's wrong too often. I'll read you another little bit. If my soul happened to be golden, Callicles, don't you think I should be overjoyed to find a stone to test the metal, the best stone possible, which, when applied to it, if it agreed that my soul had been well cared for, and that I know that I was in satisfactory state and never needed another touchstone? What is the motive behind this question, Socrates? I shall tell you. I think, now that I've met you, I've met just such a lucky stone. What he's talking about there is finding someone that you can talk to that has different values than you do, so that you tell that person your values, and then they go, your values suck, man. These are better values here that I have, and then you get in a. You see how he says it's like a touchstone. If your values stand up, and then they're worthwhile values to have. But if someone can attack your values and show you how you're wrong, and then they're not worthwhile values to have, and you should discard them.
Well, I don't know. There's certain things that we can all kind of live without. Certain things, certain luxuries, kind of things that we feel like we can't do complete justice in a way. If you wrote about it, sung about it, or made art about it.
Yeah.
And the teaching of philosophy and how it all began. And knowing that, I used to have strong, good feelings and arguments way back when I was young.
But Socrates calls it that, like, a person that has different values than him, like a lucky stone, because it's like he can test his own values on that, and it's like it's a good thing for him to find someone that is different from him, not someone that agrees with everything he says, someone who has ideas and stands up and says, "These are the reasons for my ideas," and then he has to. If his own ideas are right, then he has to be able to show that person how his ideas are wrong, and that's a really hard thing to do. But I'm always finding people that have like very different opinions than me, different ideas and stuff, and it's always a test, it seems. Because I'm probably wrong about a lot of things. Probably wrong like about maybe 75% of the things are probably wrong about, and then maybe 25%
I don't know, it's interesting
right.
because like it seems to me that there's like days we keep, and there's days we can just throw away and forget about. They weren't that extent. Kind of having like, I don't know, I mean, once in a while, I mean, I have to think back to like how it was so exciting at one point to like share ideas. Like we were like top of like, I don't know. I do relate back to how I like the stories of Hercules and Hades, and it's interesting mythology. It's always been important. Mount Olympus, Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain.
Yeah.
Red Flag, G.I. Joe.
And what would be a lucky stone for you? What would be? Who's the I guess you can't say a person, but can you think of someone that would be like a lucky stone? I guess you'd have to have Socrates' attitude that when he says if someone proves me wrong, then that's the greatest moment ever, because then he's showing where he's wrong and he can improve himself. But I don't have that attitude. I'm more I don't know, just seek the bag of chips, seek the pop. Look at the books, read the comics, find time, and then when I do talk to people, it's always just very chit chatty.
Yeah.
It's never like a Socratic dialogue. It's like where it's like a back and forth where you're like getting somewhere with like with ideas, kind of. I don't know. I guess they say introverts like to have like one person that they talk to like lots.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of like that too, but I don't know. I see debates on YouTube, and it's usually the theist debates, and those are pretty interesting. But it seems like the religious side is so moronic with their arguments. and then the atheist side is usually sound pretty reasonable, but they have to kind of like hold in their frustration with some of the other the debating tactics of the other team. That is just like,
well, yeah. Or what about like the whole kind of like German philosophy? You know, compared to like it was a funny skit on Monty Python.
oh yeah, the soccer, right?
Yeah. They're like all like serious about it, how they're going to approach it.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And then they went in, they kind of characterized each philosopher. So what's your philosophy of life?
Keep strong and keep going ahead. It will eventually pay off.
How do you keep strong?
By facing solutions through hardship.
I always thought the line, face things when you're unprepared to do so.
Yeah.
How do we get things to pay off? Or is that just looking at things in a certain way? Like, it's just like you see things as being paid off.
You just hope so. That's all. So you can feel free and not worry about, yeah. If Ashton Kutcher can just play a billionaire, I mean, yeah, you're well off. It's actually kind of funny and sad.
I often feel like things have paid off, and then it hits me, and I realize that like things aren't as great as I think they are. Things are illuminated by just dream and energy. There's more than meets the eye.
Right.
What's that from, He-Man?
What's that?
More than meets the eye. Is that from He-Man?
He-Man, yeah.
Yeah. Another Greek hero.
Or even Conan. He's pretty cool. Yeah, I used to read that when I was little. I mean, it was kind of exciting. I don't know, I collected a lot of stuff when I was younger. Like I said, sometimes, yeah, life is a get mess toy. We don't always get those toys. So just reminiscing about the good old days and the fun ideas. Things that come full circle in a good way.
Well, there's about 7 minutes left or so. We can move on and talk about some new shows we're gonna do. And unless you had anything you wanted to say about Socrates.
No, I'm good.
I know we didn't do like a big synopsis and like description and go in heavily into it, but that's not what we're really about at the Get Missed Toy.
Yeah.
But new shows, I was gonna look through my books and why don't you dig through some comics?
What?
You could dig through some comics.
Yeah.
Find some connecting themes.
Oh, okay.
What kind of shows do you want to do in the future?
Kind of like fun, like Nintendo kind of shit, like reminiscing about the toys and shit, and about like the 80s and the 90s when we were growing up and shit, talking about stuff. Or
Okay.
even going as far as like Alien HBO.
I went not that far. I was gonna write that down. So we've done a show called Toys of Yesteryear, but we could do more something along that line. You think?
Yeah, I know.
Old Nintendos?
No Nintendo stuff, yeah.
And more books, more comics.
More fun all around.
Well, I guess we can conclude on that sour note. Just kidding, it's not a sour note. I just wanted to say that for some reason.
Okay. Like I said, even with sometimes when I sound it, I have hope of it pays off. That's a positive thing you have to think about here. Either way.
Well, thank you for listening to the Get Miss Toy. I'm your host, James Hart, and with me, as always, is...
Bill Duncan.